So today I'll be discussing one more Leetcode problem, which is minimum time to repair cars. Let let's read the problem statement. You are given an integer array ranks representing the ranks of some mechanics. Ranks I is the rank of ith mechanic, and mechanic rank R can repair n cars in R into n square minutes. You're also given an integer cars representing a total number of cars waiting in the garage to be repaired. Return the minimum time taken to repair all the cars. So if we look at the example, like mechanic 1 will repair 2 cars, mechanic 2 will repair 2 cars, 3 will 2, and 1 will repair 4 cars. So time is calculated by this formula. So 4 into 2 into 2, 2 into 2 into 2, 16, 18, 12, and 16. So now I may think like why the answer is 16, why it is not getting added up, like 16 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16, right? So the reason is all the mechanics can repair cars simultaneously. It means uh, if one mechanic is repairing a one car, the rest of the car can be repaired by other mechanics at the same time, parallelly. So that's why always the answer will be the maximum minute taken by any of the mechanic, right? So if I okay, let me just discuss how should we approach this problem to solve. Suppose there are 10 cars, right? Now, what is the brute force way to think, right, to solve this problem? It's like, okay, I have 10 cars, right? Initially, I have 10 cars, but okay, I'm giving one car to one mechanic. The rest of the 9 cars, I'm sorry, should be repaired by rest of 3 mechanics, right? If I go on, okay, fine. I'm giving one more card to mechanic one. The rest of the rest of the 8 cards should be uh, handled by rest of the two mechanics, right? So this way we can approach in a brute force manner. But it is not like, okay, why should we give only one card, right? We can go to further. Okay, let's give him two more cars, giving 3 cars, 4 cars. Same goes for this mechanic one also, right? We can give him 2 car, then 3 car, 3 amount of cars, then 4, then 5. We can give so on, right? So thing is, okay, number of cars which is given to us, we gotta split up. We gotta split up somehow. The R into n square gets minimized, right? Now the thing is, how should we uh, split it up? Now, if we look at the constraint, ranks length, so length of this array would be 10 to the power 5, right? And number of cars is 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 6, right? So one thing for sure we know that no matter what, we have to traverse the rank array at least once, or at least there can be many time. I mean, uh, more than one, but at least once, right? So 10 to the power 5 will be taken for sure. Now, how many time? Suppose it is x, right? So, uh, I mean, by this formula, right? So we gotta, I mean, by this approach. So what's the x? X is like number of x is the number of ways to split it up, right? In the worst possible case, the time complexity will be 10 to the 5 into 10 to the power 6, which is 10 to the power 11, right? So it won't be accepted at all. So we gotta think more uh, optimized way to solve this problem. So brute force is failed here. Okay, let me just erase that. I don't know why it's not getting erased up, but okay, it is done. Yeah, done. Okay, let me just erase these also. I think I can do this. Yep. Okay, so when it is like whenever you see like 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 6, then the first thought you should have in your mind, like you cannot solve the problem in a very much brute force manner. You gotta think a solution the time complexity will be something like n into log n, right? And whenever you see this time complexity n into log n, then it is something like, okay, sorting is one option, right? Then if it is sorting, then binary search is always there, right? Binary search. So, okay, this problem can be solved using binary search, and it is the optimized way to do that. And let me show you how and why binary search will work here, right? Okay. So let me ask you one thing. In binary search, there are two parameters which is very much required, right? What is a low value? What is a high value, right? So what is a low? So ranks can be one. I mean length of the rank can be one, and value can be one, and cards can be one. So it's like one into one square, right? So low is one. Now it is high. High can be chosen again. If you just multiply all of them, then you will get a high. But we have to choose high in a very clever way. Suppose there is a rank array which is given, right? Suppose it is length of 2 and 1, and n is supposed to be, let's say, 220. In in how many ways, or if I say like, how should I uh, split the n in such a way I should get the maximum time possible, which is a minimum. I know it sounds contradict, but yeah, I have to find the maximum number of time, but it should be minimized. So it is like, okay, I won't split the n, but I'll take the minimum of the rank, right? So it is like r into n square, right? So 220 square into r should be r is 1. R is 1. So it is the maximum time that can be taken, which is also a minimum, right? So this is the amount of time. What I'm talking about, one, it is amount of time, right? And this is also I'm talking about, right? This high, this is also amount of time. It belongs to time, isn't it? So thing is, okay, we have found out like what is the low and what is the high. And one thing that we should again understand, and we'll get it through the code. Okay, first let me define the low and high. Long low. Okay, low equals 1, then long high. It is okay. I think if I make it long, it should be easier for me. I just save my time bit. Okay, cars into cars. Right. So n square, which is r into n square, right? R into n square. Okay. So n is the number of cars. So I have squared it. So what should I do next? Like I should multiply. Let me just get. Okay. It can be in the smallest rank, and smallest rank, which is minimum element of ranks dot. Okay, begin, then we can just copy and paste. It should be end instead, and we can multiply this thing, which is smallest rank. Now we should have one answer, long answer, right? So my what is my thought, like, okay, why low is less than high or less than equals high? Okay, now what is my intuition is, suppose between this low and high, I have I will always get mid, right? Okay, so there is low, there is high, and I'll get like mid, right? Mid equals low plus high divided by 2. Low plus high divided by 2. I mean, it's whole divided by 2. Now I will check if I allocate mid time, like mid is the number, right? Mid is the number. Suppose it is x. If I allocate X times, can I repair all the car or not? And how can I do it? Suppose there is a rank given like A, B, C, and D, right? What is the time taken by mechanic 1, which is having a rank A? So it is nothing but A into uh, suppose there is n is the number of cars, n square, right? It is what? It is the time, right? It is the time. So I can check, okay, if I give this amount of, this is the thing that I am predefined, okay, I'm giving X number of time to you. And tell me how many cars can you repair, right? I'm giving X number of cars. Now tell me how many cars you can repair in that particular time, right? So it will be something like number of cars, that is I have to calculate is n. So n is nothing but n will be time, right? Time divided by a, and it should be square root, right? So this is for mechanic A. If a B comes instead of A, it will be for mechanic B. Then if it is come instead of B, if it is come C, then it will be C, and so on. Now if I add all of the number of cars, like all of the n's, right? All of the n's, right? Suppose this is Y, and suppose cars is something that is given in the argument here, cars, right? So if my y is greater than equals to cars, it means okay, in that particular time which I allocated, which is mid, I can repair all the cars. If it is not, then it will be failed to repair, right? So this is my intuition is fine. So long mid equals nothing but low plus high divided by 2, as I said. Now let me define one function, right, which will do the job for us. So auto can repair. I'm giving this amount of time, right? So I'll check. Okay, long count. How many cars can be repaired in that particular time, right? So for auto rank in ranks, count is greater than I'm sorry plus equals square root of, it should be time divided by the rank. And if my count is greater than or equals to cars, okay, I have repaired all the cars, so it should be true. And instead, if it is something like that, then return count cars. If it is not greater than equals to cars, if it is less than, then it will return false, right? So this is can repair. So what I'm gonna call like, okay, if I can repair this mid time which I'm giving, okay, I've got one answer, right? I have got one answer. So what I'm trying to say, how this is going, like like, okay, let me just take it. Okay, so 1 2 3 dot, 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 dot. It's supposed to be x, right? X plus 1, then x plus 2. This is how low to medium is going. Low was 1, right? And medium, I'm sorry, low to high is going. There is somewhere in the high. So what I'm saying, if I allocate x minutes and I can repair all the cars, that means I can repair for sure by x plus 1 minutes, by for sure x plus 2 minutes, right? So my high should be reduced, right? My high should be reduced because I can skip all of them, because if I can repair all the cars in x minutes, then for sure I will be able to repair all of them in x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, and etc so on, right? So my answer is okay, fine. I have till now I have find one answer. So I have now high should be reduced, right? And if it is not, then we can simply increase our low. Okay, we have to increase the time it has not been able to solve in that particular amount of time. So if I uh, okay, Okay, let me just run it. Code is pretty much done, I guess. Okay, I have to put a semicolon here. Minimum star, minimum element. Okay, I got a spelling mistake here. Okay, so it is getting passed. Let us submit it. Okay, it says okay, runtime error 9 is a outside representable time long. That is pretty fine. Okay, no issue. Square of time. Uh, we can make it something like long. Time cast, typecast. Okay, got the same here. Okay, that's fine. Uh, what if I can? What if I want to type the long? 9 is outside range. Okay. Time is it should be long too. Okay. So it is fixed. Now if I submit it, I think it should be submitted easily. Yes. So this is it. Goodbye.